and welcome back to my channel. This is Didsbury Art Studio and I'm Sally, and in today's video we're going to be using lots of coloured tulle to make some different pom-poms and garlands, using them in a weave. So shall we get into it? Okay, so I've got this roll of tulle and I'm probably just going to cut off a length of that. I think I got this tulle ages ago, like I've got loads of colours of them, and I'm trying to think now, it might have been from Amazon, it might have been from Etsy, and weaving card loom, and I've just warped it up with some string. And what I'm going to do to begin with then is do some short layers. Just going to overlap the first two warp lengths and push the tulle through. I only want it short, so I might as well just pull that a little bit more. And then I'm going to also, whoops, pull this through as well. And when I pull that tight, I'm just going to chop off the end like so. I may even go a bit shorter actually, so I'll trim those down. And then I'm going to grab the next two warp lengths and do the same again. So push the left hand side through the middle and do the same with the right hand side. Make that a little bit shorter this time around. Pull that nice and tight. It just stays in place, and then you can just trim it off with the scissors. And so I think I'm going to do a couple more across, and then I think I'm just going to do a few sort of like a diagonal down through the middle. So I think you get the hang of it, don't you? I'll just speed this up. Oh, here you are, face to face. And then what I'm going to do, I've done 4, and I'm just going to go to the next row. And I'm just going to grab these two. I'm going to leave the first one undone and go to the next two. And this way I can just space them out a little bit better as they go along. So I'm going to push that one through the left hand side, and then that one through the right hand side. In this trashy bar, another glass and I am going places, makes me laugh. Pull that nice and tight, trim it off, and do the same for the next one. So I'm going to grab this one and this one and push those in. Like that. So you can see the build up that I'm doing here. I have decided that I'm going to go all the way across, as you can see, and now I'm just going to just start working down, and then I'll increase getting the length of the tulle as I go along. And now I'm just going to introduce a little bit of height in there. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting longer lengths of the tulle, and I'm making them much longer at the sides as well. So I've actually just run out of this tulle, so look how gorgeous that is. I've got this much left, and I've got some purple. I'm not the greatest of fans of purple, however, I think this will harmonise nicely. So I'm going to continue. About the irony of everything. I like the way you're thinking. I don't really care about the music on the dance. So that's it finitude. Does it look like that way? How lovely is that? That's cool. I'm thinking maybe I need to just get a little bit more of a gradient going up there. Maybe I'll do a little bit of trimming. I don't really mind, all the smoke is in the bathroom. So yeah, that's it. Very happy with that. So potentially you could cut that off and then have it as a weave and just finish it off underneath with another line of plain weave and then just cut off the bottom. But I actually quite like just leaving it on this board. You could see that on the mannequin and working really well. And I think it flows really well from the blue into the purple too. Maybe that just needs a little bit of a trim. I don't care at all, baby, you got my attention. Just thought I'd put my camera above it so you can see it a little bit better. So you were saying, oh no. I've also created this one, and that's done with the same method, but right at the top I started with the longer lengths and then just went into the trim shorter bits and then went back to the longer lengths, and it's kind of created a sort of semicircle around there, which I think looks good. What I actually did as well, let me just double check. Yeah, I kind of went the opposite way around. So instead of having the, I don't know if you can see it, let me just put you there. So I'll show you on this one. Instead of actually angling the fabric up that way, I'll take this one out. So put that over the top of the two bits, the opposite way around. So I'm going to put that on top, and instead of tucking in above that little ridge of fabric over the top, I'm going to do it sort of at the bottom underneath it. So I'm going to pull that through and pull that through. Does it make too much of a difference? Not massively, but what I've found is it drapes down this way a little bit more. I also wanted to show you this garland. So it's just strips of fabric that have, in the same way that I just did the weave, you just hang those off a long piece of string. So I have actually used two different shades of, well, it's kind of like a limey, yellowy, greeny colour. More green, I'd say. So lighter into darker is just what I had. But I'll just show you how I did that. You a strip of fabric, you just decide on what length you want. I obviously wanted it this long. It's about 24 inches long. And you just fold it in half, drape it over the top of your string, and once again just pull the two bits of fabric through the middle. And pull. So you could trim and cut into the lengths of tulle, just long lengths if you wanted to, but I've just stuck with not doing so, just because I quite like the effect. I've made those slightly shorter, that side, because I wanted it to grow sort of longer as it sort of went around. But these could be used as garlands, or they could be used again on the mannequin in textiles, GCSE or A-level or college work. I've been having contact from people that are doing BTECs and degrees. So yeah, it's just quite a handy little easy technique that you can use. And I did another one there just because I wanted to see what it looked like if I had one colour going into a different colour. And I also wanted to see what things look like layered up. So yeah, you can have different lengths, different colours, position them differently, cut into it a little bit more. I'd quite like to see what this looks like on the mannequin. You could twist these around. Let's just have a little play. You are something special, I'm sure. Everything makes total sense when you're next to. Let me know in the comments if you've got any ideas of other things that we could do with these. I just want to layer them up a minute. Me. And then finally what I want to show you next is how to do just a very quick, simple tulle pom-pom. You can decide on how wide you want these to go. I'm going to do the width of this weaving board. So I'm just going to tie a knot here, wrap it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So the thicker, the more layers you put on, the thicker the pom-pom is going to become. So let's do a couple more. Just hold that on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to need a long length to put through the middle, and then we're going to carefully just pull this off. Put the netting around the middle, tie a knot quite tight in the centre. You can do any sizes of these. And then you want to grab your scissors and cut through the loops. You can mix up colours with these too. And then just shuffle it around, yeah, scrunch. So if you're going to be very precise, you can trim these off, get it all controlled so that they're all the same length. Or you can have irregular pieces coming out. I like it with some of the bits coming out. I do really, but maybe on this one I'll just trim it. Gorgeous. So these are left irregular, which I do quite like, some longer lengths and some shorter lengths. Change the direction of your scissors too to get a more pointy effect in parts if you'd like to. And then this one I've mixed with the darker green and the lighter green. But again, I quite like the different lengths, so I'm keeping it like that. Then I've gone a little bit bigger. Oh, maybe that one was the shorter one. So I wrapped it around my phone's width. That one's probably the similar size to the weaving board width. I ran out of the turquoise, so I just had to tie it in the middle with some of that yellowy green. See how just doing quite a few different colours could work really nicely with all of these together. Then I went a bit bigger and I did this the length of the iPad, mixed up the colours. So I just tied 2 lengths of 2 different colours and just did the same process. Where you wanna go? I am all about adventure times. I really love the way this fabric's curling. Can you see that with these little tubes that are being created? It's just naturally doing it. I just thought I'd put them all together just to see what they could look like. I kind of feel like it's very much under the sea world going on here. I just think it's very corally, sea urchin, kind of sea lifey. What do you think?
You are illuminating. I don't really care about the people in the bar line. I don't really mind all the woo girls doing stage dives. I don't care at all, baby. You got my attention.
So thanks so much for watching my video today, and if you haven't subscribed already, then feel free to. If you're enjoying this content, and I will be back with another video next week. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification button to see when I upload. All right then, bye.